Before we start, I request everybody to stand up. We'll have national anthem first. Thank you. Please keep on standing. We'll have a party prayer now.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we your children who are gathered here today, embracing as we do all major religious faiths in this world, pray that we be granted the strength to work for the unity and welfare of all the people of this land, irrespective of race or color or creed, and grant us the wisdom to treat and consider all matters that come before us without fear, prejudice, or ill will towards anyone, so that we might join hands to promote thy honor and glory here in our land as in the world at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Please keep on standing up. We have a minute of condolence. We'll have a minute of silence for all our supporters and stewards who have left us. We're remembering them. Thank you. You may be seated now. Now I request our youth reps to garland our president, Mr. P.O.T. Kundewandua. Thank you. Now to garland our party leader, Dr. Professor Biman Prasad. Now we'll be garnering our two key speakers for today's convention. First, Mr. Krishna Dutt, a former politician and a government minister. Our second keynote speaker for today, Mr. Richard Naidu, a constitutional lawyer. Thank you. The party leader, party president, Dr. Mrs. Rajni Chan, members of management board, provisional candidates, and our members, supporters, stalwarts, and wishers who have turned up in large numbers to this historic convention in the 55th year of existence of Fiji's oldest political party, the National Federation Party. The moment has arrived for all of us to be part of what is likely to be the making of history in the next few months. I'm sure the leader will talk about that in detail. But my job is to welcome all of you wholeheartedly as the convention chair to this soccer-crazy sugar town of Ba. We started the final week of preparations facing a barrage of negative publicity. To top it all, the Ba Town Council removed our banners advertising the convention by first telling us it was a directive from the Director of Local Government and then giving us a letter saying they will not hang our banners until approval was given by Supervisor of Elections. They used the name of supervisor wrongly, who to his credit acted swiftly, and the first thing that the council did was to hang our banners once again. This is victory number one over the Ba Town Council and the Ministry of Local Government, including the local government minister, who is responsible for overall administration of town council since they had been controlled by him through administrators. Despite the pitfalls facing us as an organization committee, we have made elaborate preparations for all of you. So enjoy our hospitality. Now I have much pleasure in requesting Mrs. Leonore Geringen-Tambua to take the podium, deliver her remarks, and chair the rest of the program. Over to you, Leonora.
Nisambulabinak again, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar, Salam alaikum, Mutudolabina, and as we say in Kandabu, good afternoon. I apologize to the ladies and gentlemen behind me. I'd rather use a cordless because if I stood here, you wouldn't be able to see me. So I'm just going to wander around the stage for a bit. Chulo, chulo, chulo. I would like to open by asking, why am I here? Indeed, why are you here? Why are these ladies and gentlemen here? Why has NFP been in existence now for 55 years? The answer I put to you is purpose. Purpose. Purpose is that feeling that you are part of something much bigger than yourself, that you are needed, that you have something better ahead of you to work for. When you find your purpose, you will find that way to make a difference. That is why NFP is here. That is why I am here. And I believe that is why you are here as well. Because we all want the same thing. And what is that thing? What is that thing? Change is what we want. A change for the better, ladies and gentlemen. A change in favor of a $5 minimum living wage so that more families can live with dignity. A change in favor of increasing the bargaining powers of workers and unions and their leaders. A change in favor of better governance and more transparency from the parliamentarians you choose to represent you. A change for more media freedom and less meddling from politicians. A change in favor of a government which listens to ideas, takes on board criticism, and asks for advice. A change in favor of a government who will cut salaries and allowances of all ministers, including that of the Prime Minister, as a first step to much needed cost cutting. A change in favor of our environment and of our natural resources. Change for the better, brothers and sisters. I believe very strongly that everything rises and falls on leadership. The strength of any family is a direct result of the strength of its leadership. Imagine your own family. Imagine if the leadership of your family is unjust and favors some family members over others. Or if the leadership of your village, for example, was weak and allowed some people to get away with some things and punished others for doing the same thing. How unhappy would your family be? The same goes for any business, brothers and sisters, and for any country, and the same goes for our beloved Fiji. I believe that when leadership is just, transparent, inclusive, compassionate, when leadership listens more than it talks, when it leads with integrity, the ripple effect will be felt, and not only felt, but seen. And I don't see that in Fiji today. So what kind of leadership do you want to see leading Fiji? This is the group of men and women that I believe can make the change that we so desperately desire. Making that desire become reality is my responsibility, and it is your responsibility in that polling booth. Because you and I are responsible for moving this nation forward, and we do that by voting for NFP. There are many people who would love to be here today to sit amongst us, to enjoy today's celebration, to enjoy today's beautiful bow weather and atmosphere, but they're fearful. Fearful of repercussions, fearful that they might get into trouble for being seen with us here today, fearful that they might get victimized. Is this the kind of Fiji you want for your family? Is this the kind of Fiji you want for your children? We used to be a brave and courageous nation. We have fallen to our knees again and again during cyclones, floods, and droughts, but we have always gotten up. We have brave men and women from Fiji keeping the peace in war-torn nations around the world. But here in Fiji, in the land where we were born, we are afraid? How can I have friends who tell me they cannot click like or make positive comments on my Facebook status because they tell me our Facebook accounts are being watched? This is the reality of Fiji today, and I do not accept that. We have forgotten how to have adult conversations about how our country is run. Civilized adults understand that there will always be people who will have opinions that differ from theirs and can carry out a debate without acting like spoiled children in a playground, stooping to insults and name-calling. We have lost much of our pride and dignity. We are far from being the happiest place on earth. We are now hands stretched out begging for handouts. We are looking over our shoulders before we dare to criticize government. Sadly, this is the climate we now live in. But do not let fear stop you, brothers and sisters. Today, you cannot raise your voice without a risk of retaliation, but I am willing to do what is hard. I am willing to do what is scary, but what I believe pays off in the long run. All of us are. Fiji is capable of so much more, so much better. You know what? What I do or don't do has a consequence. And the same is true for you, for you, for you, and for the ladies and gentlemen sitting behind me. I did not have a choice but to put my hand up and be counted, along with these brave ladies and gentlemen sitting behind me and those in the tent to my right. I could not turn a blind eye and say, not my problem. Let someone else try and solve it. No. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? In the Bible, God promised the Israelites the promised land of Canaan after wandering around in the desert for 40 years. And at the end of the 40 years, and with the promised land right before them, 12 spies were sent by Moses to bring back a report on the land of milk and honey. Out of the 12 spies, 10 came back discouraged, saying the land was populated by powerful giants whose cities were fortified. Only 2 of the spies returned with a good report, and they said, "Do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." Let me be one of those spies, brothers and sisters. I have come to tell you, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. Sisters and brothers, God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. We must enter the promised land. We can see it, but that's not enough. We must enter it, we must take it from the giants, and we must possess it. That, I believe, is my purpose, to be an agent of change, and it's right there in front of us all right now. Will you be brave enough to stand with me and say yes to change, ladies and gentlemen, because change is coming. God bless you. God bless the National Federation Party. God bless Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, another of my jobs, apart from bringing you all to the grandstand and picking up rubbish and being the MC, is also to introduce our speakers today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce to you very shortly former minister, politician, former teacher, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Krishna Dutt.
Mr. President, leader of the National Federation Party, and all the people that the Bar Branch chairman welcomed, and part of all those who appeared in Lenora's list, add them all to mine as well. Welcome. I've been slightly taken aback by being garlanded and also being nominated as one of the keynote speakers. I'm no longer a keynote speaker. I was very happy when I heard that the other speaker is going to be Richard Naidu. And it was about time for me to pass the baton on to someone younger. Richard is a former student of mine, and it gives me the greatest pleasure to have him to speak, because he will then undo all that I've said, or I'm going to say, and then correct them. Thanks, Richard. I just want to address one or two issues. I was given 5 minutes, and I intend to keep to this time. I have a record for not keeping to any time ever in the past. But I will keep to 5 minutes. And what I want to do is just explain to the people why I am today supporting the National Federation Party. As most of you would recall, and if you haven't recognized me still, I am indeed Krishna Dutt. Maybe this will help. That is how I used to look originally. But thanks for the gentleman on my right here in the other shed who said that I look 15 years younger. Well, I'm not going to apologize for that, but thank you very much. But I used to be the founder Secretary General of the Fiji Labour Party. Most of you would recall. And a lot of you seated here at one time were supporters of the Fiji Labour Party as well. Now, the Labour Party left me. I didn't leave the Labour Party. Labour Party left me. The leadership of the Labour Party ganged up and got rid of 5, 6 of us. And I kept very quiet politically, not wanting to come in. But then, as Lenora was saying, you have to keep standing up and getting yourself counted. You can't sit on the fence. And when I looked at the political scenario in the last 12 years, the present government would recognize that I have not uttered a word against them. After 2014, I wanted to give them a chance because they claimed to have been democratically elected. And I wanted to see how they would create the democracy that they were talking about. I have not seen any of that. And that is one of the reasons. The first reason is leadership, a point that Lenora referred to, and I'm sure Richard will talk a lot about it later on. But in all these years of Fiji politics, I have been looking for an ethical leader, a leader who decides to do things because it is right, not because it is politically expedient, which is what I have been seeing in the last 12 years. Just political expediency in the name of leadership, which I find quite ridiculous. And I see in Professor Biman a new leader, a new vision, was prepared to dedicate himself and his party to the values that the party stands for, and the values of democracy, even if it has meant some personal loss. Now that's the kind of leadership I have been looking for, and I see that in this team of people, team of very young people, not so youthful either. Professor Biman is not a youth camp man. If he was working in the Fiji Civil Service, they would have retired him by now. But I'm glad he was at the university and has joined politics where there is no age limit. Because those who retire others at 55 continue to remain in politics for much longer. I'm glad that in Biman and his team, we have a group of people who are committed in a new way to be sensitive to the values of our cultures, various cultures in this country, various traditions, and sensitive to our differences, and yet able to create a vision for the future. That is one reason I decided to join the National Federation Party. I do not see that quality of leadership in any other political party in Fiji at the moment. The second reason is my shared that comes out of having too many bowls of grog the night before. The second reason is founded on our shared belief in principles and values of democracy. And again, I'm going to cut short my speech because Lenora has covered that very well. And in a rally like this, there's bound to be some repetitions. In the democratic framework of decision making, I see that being practiced in the decisions that the National Federation Party makes. So democracy is just not a rhetoric for them. It is a principle on which the whole leadership structure rests on, and their own decision-making style, that of participative democracy, where people will be involved, where everybody is empowered, and everyone makes a contribution to the national decisions. The kinds of decision-making that I've seen in the last 12 years is a reflection of a thing that comes from the past. Authoritarianism, despotism, dogmatism. More recently, oligarchy. A rather hard word, but it means government by a few people inside. Now, these are old terminology. These are kinds of systems that human civilization has been through already and given up. And we are trying to run our people on these systems, on these values. And before we become extinct as well, we have to save Fiji. And within the principles of democracy, when everyone else feels empowered and part of a system, progress will take place. We will feel that you are part of this progress, not something which is imposed and which is foreign. Theirs is a vision based on compassion and understanding. That doesn't mean that they have lost sight of the realities of life and living. Professor Bimani is an economist. They deal with figures. When I suggest something to him, he comes back to me, he says, Chris, but the data says this. And I have to review my opinion. Because his is the opinion or a conclusion drawn from data. So he's not ignorant of all that is happening. And when they propose a policy, whether it has to do with $5 an hour for the working people, base minimum, or anything else, it is a considered decision. It is a decision based on economic advisors. He doesn't only work alone. He has a team of people that advise him. So don't just laugh off any new visionary ideas that comes from him. And it is for that shared commitment for which I too have spent my entire life. I stand here having survived 4 coups in this country. And yet, each time, have made all the efforts to bring back democracy. Now I know the rhetoric is being used by all the other sides, but the reality, the practice of democracy is lacking. And I see that this party holds that vision of bringing back real grassroots democracy. I can give you hundreds of examples, but today is not the date for giving examples. You look at the way school managements are managed. I'm looking at A.D. Patel College, and I'm suddenly reminded of that. All school managements have been disemboweled, as if they were vomit gathered somewhere and they've been vomited out. They have lost their power. They no longer feel that they have a school they manage. The Ministry of Education has been made a mess of. I say that because that's my bread and butter as well. That's what I have been about all my life. But look, I don't want to steal Biman's thunder. That was not what I wanted to say. What I want to say is give you 2 reasons why I have decided to support the National Federation Party. And I wish them well. And I hope all of you, particularly those who are former Labour members, who are great supporters and fans of mine, would come along with me and give them a big number. Madam Master of Ceremony, if I have your permission, can I take 2 minutes and speak in Hindustani? भाइयों तथा बहनों, आप तंगे हुए हैं. जहाँ कहीं मैं जाता हूँ, लोग कहते हैं कृष्णा दत्त, यार ये सरकार रास्ता बनाइस, पानी दीस, लड़कन के स्कूल फ्री हो गए, दूध मिले पिए के, कैसे करी, किधर वोट दे अब. अरे ये तो ठीक चीज है. रास्ता बनाया, बत्ती दिया, पानी दिया, दूध दिया, स्कूल फीस भरा, ये अच्छा चीज है. और कोई भी आने वाला सरकार अगर इन चीजों से कुछ खेल करता है, उन्हें निकालता है, तो हमारे दुश्मन हो जाएंगे. और मैं ये आश्वासन दे सकता हूं कि जब तक मैं इनके साथ में हूं, कोई भी ऐसा काम जो अच्छा किसी सरकार ने किया है, उसको बिगाड़ा नहीं जाएगा. उसको बिगाड़ा नहीं जाएगा. उस पर और सुधार लाए जाएंगे. दूध बांटने का सिर्फ एक ही तरीका नहीं है बच्चों को मजबूत बनाने और विद्वान बनाने के लिए, और भी तरीके हैं. फेडरेशन पार्टी की सरकार और भी तरीके अपनाएंगी, और उनके पास में तरह तरह की योजना है. तो सिर्फ ये ना सोचें. लेकिन एक कहानी याद आ जाती है. 1922 में, ऐतिहासिक विषय, थोड़ा देर के लिए पीछे ले जाता हूं. 1922 में सुवा में एक राइट हुआ. There was a riot in Suva in 1922. It was led by an Indian woman from Turek against the white man, not against Kaiviti. It was not a Kaindia Kaiviti fight. It was a Kaindia woman who led a protest against Akai Palangi, who was a shopkeeper, who was treating an Indian boy as a slave in the shop and used to slap him occasionally. These women went past Turek to this man. I'll cut all that story short. But when it happened, and the police came to arrest these women, held the hand of some of these women in Turek, that's when the men got up. How dare you touch my women? And that strike spread to Navua and Ba and Tavua and everywhere else. And there was a huge riot. Violence was stopped, but the British government in India sent a commission to investigate. That commission was led by Raju. It was known as the Raju Commission. There were 3 judges. At the end of the fact-finding, the Raju Commission came to the conclusion. They noted that the Fiji Indians, most of them at that time were first generation still, they had lots of difficulties. Turek had no proper road, no water system, no sewer system, no electricity. Even food was rationed in those days. There were all these problems. But the Raju Commission discovered that the main cause of the riot was the loss of izzat that the Indians in 1922 from Turek and elsewhere in Fiji were fighting for their self-respect, for izzat. आज इस सरकार ने हमें भिखमंगा बना दिया है, $1000 बांटकर वोट लेना चाहता है। मैं लंबासा गया था कुछ समय पहले, वहाँ किसी प्रकार का कार्ड बन रहा था, बड़ा लंबा लाइन लगा नदी के किनारे। मैं सोचा मछली वाला कोई जहाज लगा होगा। नजदीक में पहुंचा तो देखा कि लोग वहाँ कार्ड ले रहे हैं। अच्छा भाई, तुम्हारा ही पैसा है, किसी प्रकार से तुम्हें मिल रहा है, आप ले लीजिए। लेकिन क्या 1922 के तकलीफ से ज्यादा तकलीफ में हम आज हैं? जब उनको खोज था, उनको सोच था उनकी इज्जत की, कि हमारे में भी इतना स्वाभिमान नहीं है, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है कि हम उसके लिए सोचें। जो कुछ मिलता है ले लिया, लेकिन अपना मत भ्रष्ट नहीं करना, मत सही जगह पर डालना, ये सोचना। रास्ता, पानी, बत्ती तो सभी सरकार का काम है, सब बनाएंगे। जाते जाते एक और चीज बता दूं आपको। भारतीय नंबर इस देश में कम होती जा रही है। आवर पॉपुलेशन इज गोइंग डाउन। अगर आप लंबासा में जाकर के किसी एक बुजुर्ग से बोलो और पूछो तुम्हारा बड़ा लड़का कहाँ गया, तो बता रहे उसके तो लक चढ़ गए, उसके वेलिंगटन के पीआर मिल गए, वो वेलिंगटन में है और दूसरकना सुबह हम काम करें। हम लोग 2 प्राणी यहाँ जुटा है खेत में। हर एक फिजी वासी अपने बच्चों को विदेश भेजना चाहता है। लंबासा में है तो सुबह भेजना चाहता है। अरे इस देश को क्या होगा जहां हर एक लोगों का यही इच्छा है कि वो विदेश में जाए या कहीं और लंबासा वालों को मैं समझ सकता हूं, नौकरी की तलाश में हमें वितीले वो आना पड़ता है। तो हमारी संख्या जो है हम खुद कम करते हैं और हमारे लोग भारी तादाद में विदेश जाते हैं। हमारी संख्या घट रही है। हमारे आदिवासियों का नंबर बढ़ रहा है, उनका देश है, प्रेम से स्वतंत्र रूप से बढ़ रहा है। गए इलेक्शन में फिजी फेस्ट को 85% इंडियंस gave वोट, 85%। अपने सीने पर हाथ धरकर अपने आप से पूछो, गई बार हम लोगों ने किसके वोट दिया था? इसलिए क्योंकि और कोई रास्ता नहीं दिखाया और उचित सोचकर हमने ये कदम उठाया। लेकिन तुम्हारी आबादी कम हो रही है और ये आबादी कम होते होते एक जगह एक समय पर ऐसे पहुंचेगा जब इसी भाव से हम किसी तरफ के नहीं रहेंगे, एक ही तरफ लटके रहेंगे। और जिस वोट से फिजी फेस्ट ने जीता है वो वोटे नहीं रहेगा तो जीतेगा कहां से? इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं स्मार्ट वर्ल्ड का ज़माना है। लोग स्मार्टफोन कैरी करते हैं, घर में स्मार्ट टीवी रखते हैं। हिंदुस्तानियों को थोड़ा स्मार्ट बनना चाहिए। सभी अंडे एक बास्केट में रखकर नहीं जाना चाहिए। कहीं थोड़ा सा मटका तो सब गिर जाएगा, थोड़ा बंटवारा करें। अगर किसी प्रकार से आपका हाथ दबा है, अब परिवार में 4 लोग हैं, तो 2 अपने वर्तमान के लिए दे दीजिए, अपने हालात के लिए दे दीजिए। हाथ दबा है इसके कारण से दे दीजिए, लेकिन 2 तो अपने भविष्य के लिए दें। और जब अपने भविष्य के लिए देते हैं तो आप नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी को दें, क्योंकि यही भविष्य का पार्टी है। सुनने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू। विनायक
Vinakavakalevu, Mr. Dutt. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together now for one of the National Federation Party's vice presidents. Please welcome to the lectern, Ms. Seni Nambo.
Thank you very much, Lenora. Our party president, Pierre Tukundundua, party leader, Honorable Professor Biman Prasad, the NFP whip in Parliament, Honorable Prem Singh, the NFP member from Lambasa, Honorable Pramod Chand, and fellow members of the management board, our very dedicated branch representatives who worked very hard to put this meeting together, and our next generation of party leaders of our youth, for whom we all continue to be extremely grateful. To all our party elders and stalwarts, both here and abroad. And lastly, but by no means the least, the most important people here today are you. Everybody who was woken up very early to join us today, thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to say a special hello to Fiji Sun, who have been very kind to us this week with their media coverage. Thank you for giving our AGM additional coverage. And I'd also like to, on behalf of those who enjoy a few bowls of grog every afternoon, say a special hello to Mr. Fred Kane, who is in hospital and we miss him very dearly. I hope you get better soon. For many of you who are attending political rallies like this, and it's a very new experience for you, I congratulate you. Thank you for exercising your political rights with NFP today. I invite you to soak up every moment of today, and more importantly, to look around and know that you are very welcome here among a new extended family. Even if you are here just because you're curious, our door remains open for you to share our political beliefs, hopes, and visions for a united Fiji. I'd like to start my brief talk today, and I'm calling it When We Say No. And I start with a story. I take you back to the year 1963. Now remember, this was the year that was well before Fiji's independence in 1970. It was a time when Fiji was still being run by our colonial masters. It was a time when our Indo-Fijian Girmit settlers were brought here, many under duress or deception, as indentured labor by the colonial masters to work on the sugar plantations. They lived in terrible conditions. They were packed up like sardines in shanty housing. There were no 8-hour working days. I'm not sure what the rate of pay was for them. $2.68 would probably be a luxury. And I can only imagine that the women and young children born in that area would have had very hard lives. If we were to consider our Itoke people at that same time, each province was tasked with cash cropping through a system of native tax payments in kind to contribute to the colonial administration. As many of us Itoke would know from oral stories from our elders, this type of tribute was done through agricultural products like copra, banana, etc. And we would also have heard from our elders the stories of how they were not encouraged to come to the town areas, and they actually needed a permit if they wanted to drink alcohol in the towns. Each of our communities was encouraged to stay in their respective areas and to do what they were tasked. But for one man, Mr. Alaparti Tataya, in 1963, under the shade of 7 mango trees in the center of Vaileka town in Ra, with some others in his community, he had decided that he'd had enough. He said no. He said that he and his people needed political representation, and so began the Citizens Federation in order to contest the 1963 Legislative Council elections. Those were the beginnings of NFP. That was the humble beginning of what I and everybody else on this podium, as well as my fellow provisional candidates, can proudly stand on today, 55 years later. We stand on the fact that in 1963, Mr. Tataya said no, that he said enough was enough, and that he said a political voice was needed. Now, when one says no, it is not about being rude. It is about not accepting mediocre. It is about not accepting tokenism. It is about not tolerating what is not in your best interest. When every coup happened in this country, the NFP said no, no way. The NFP said guns should not dictate the leadership of this nation, which is solely for the role of the people to decide. The NFP is still saying no today. We said no on 10th September 2016 when our party leader, Honorable Professor Biman Prasad, along with a leading trade unionist, Mr. Atar Singh, was arrested for flimsy reasons and never charged, just because they were on a panel discussing the 2013 Constitution. Our 3 elected NFP members boldly say no when laws and policies are thrown at them to endorse, especially in the last budget. Our MPs said no to increased taxes like environment and climate levy, plus service turnover tax. Our MPs said no to parliamentary pensions that did not look after all past elected members of parliament, especially those removed by coups. And as vice president, I said no to an appalling display of leadership by the prime minister when he denigrated the honorable leader of opposition. I said no to ghetto behavior, as do all the women in our party. 55 years ago, our party forebears were fearless enough to say no. Today, that boldness remains. That is why I choose to be part of the Team Feds. But today, ladies and gentlemen, today, your being here, or even if you're watching online, you are telling NFP, yes, keep saying no. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, when we say no together, we will thank this government for the 12 long years that they pretended to lead us, but now their time is up. We are all ready for change. Thank you very much.
Vinaka Vice President Saini Nambo. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the National Federation Party of 2018 has some very strong women representation. From Saini now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce a lady who has had a very interesting start to her career as a politician, but since then has impressed even her toughest critics and has become a strong female voice for women in Fiji. She is an aspiring entrepreneur and a former gold medal gymnast with a total of 62 medals, a recipient of multiple awards. By education, she is a software engineer and has also worked as a journalist and presenter for Zee News India. International media from countries such as India, New Zealand, and Australia have already covered her political views. Born in one of the largest democracies of the world, she believes in freedom of speech and is ready to bring change in Fiji under the National Federation Party banner. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Riddhi Damodar.
स्टेज पे विराजमान सारे महानुभावों, पार्टी के मेंबर्स, कमेटी मेंबर्स, यहाँ पे उपस्थित सारे प्रोविजनल कैंडिडेट्स और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट आप सबको आपकी बेटी रिद्धि दामोदर का प्यार भरा नमस्कार। आज आपके आशीर्वाद और सहयोग के साथ आपकी ये बेटी राजनीति के अखाड़े में सरकार के साथ दो हाथ करने के लिए तैयार है। आप सब जानते हैं कि ये चुनौती आसान नहीं है, पर इस बार हम उन्हें जवाब देंगे और करारा जवाब देंगे। आप सब जानते हैं आज हमारे कंट्री में अमीर और गरीबों के बीच की जो खाई है वो दिन बर दिन गहरी होती जा रही है। आज एक परिवार में सुबह जब एक मर्द उठता है, काम पर जाता है, तो उसके मन में एक ही विचार रहता है कि कैसे मैं ज़्यादा कमा सकूं और अपने परिवार को अच्छी सुविधा, अच्छी चीज़ें दे सकूं। उसी कारण वो कई बार अपने परिवार के साथ समय भी व्यतीत नहीं कर सकते। ये है उनका सैक्रिफाइस। बात करते हैं महिलाओं की। महिला सुबह उठ के शॉपिंग की लिस्ट बनाती है, बच्चे आसपास है, बच्चे बताते हैं माँ आप जब शॉपिंग करके आओ तो हमारे लिए दूध और फल ज़रूर लेके आना, वो मुझे बहुत पसंद है। माँ अपने बच्चों को बताती है ठीक है बेटा, मैं जब आऊँगी तब लेकर आऊँगी। अब माँ जाती है शॉपिंग सेंटर, चीज़ें अपनी ट्रॉली में छोड़ती है, दूध के 5 पैकेट छोड़ती है, एप्पल छोड़ती है, कुछ और चीज़ें छोड़ती है और पेमेंट करने के लिए कैशियर के पास चली जाती है। कैशियर उन्हें बताता है अमाउंट, और वो अमाउंट उनके पास जो पैसा होता है उससे ज़्यादा होता है। माँ कुछ पैकेट दूध के निकाल देती है, कुछ चीज़ें अपनी ट्रॉली से निकाल के बाहर कर देती है, और उससे पहले अपने पर्स को थोड़ा टटोलती है कि शायद कुछ कंपार्टमेंट में से थोड़ा सा पैसा और निकल आए, पर वो पर्स खाली होता है। वो चीज़ें छोड़ के जितना वो अफोर्ड कर सकती है लेके घर चली जाती है। बच्चे सामने से आते हैं, पूछते हैं माँ आप मेरी चीज़ें लाई कि नहीं। माँ बता देती है बच्चे बेटा मुझे माफ़ करना, आज मैं भूल गई, कल लेकर आऊँगी। माँ चली जाती है अंदर अपने किचन में, 2 आंसू गिरा देती है। दर्द होता है ये देख के, मुझे बहुत दर्द होता है ये देख के, और मैं जानती हूँ कि मैंने जो ये बात आपको भी बताई है वो आप में से कई लोगों के साथ रोज़ होती है, पर शायद आप खुल के बोलने से डरते हैं। आज 12 सालों तक राज करने के बाद भी आपका वैल्यू क्या है? $2.68 इज योर वैल्यू। बट अब आपको डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। अब आपके साथ है आपकी अपनी पार्टी, आपकी पार्टी यानी नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी। जैसे हमारे लीडर ने बताया है कि नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी $5 एन आवर का रेट लागू करेगी, पर हमारा काम वहीं पे ख़त्म नहीं होता, क्योंकि सल्यूशन ये आधा सल्यूशन है। हम पूरा सल्यूशन में मानते हैं, और पूरा सल्यूशन है कि आमदनी बढ़ने के साथ साथ खर्चा भी कम होना चाहिए। और उसी के लिए ऐसी 15 आइटम चूज की जाएगी कि जिसके ऊपर से हम वैट निकाल देंगे, चीज़ें अपने आप सस्ती हो जाएगी, आमदनी बढ़ेगी, आदमी खुश, औरत खुश, बच्चे खुश, परिवार खुश। आप सबने देखा होगा टीवी पे कैसे हमारे पार्टी के लीडर और हमारे एमपीज चिल्ला चिल्ला के सरकार से मांग कर रहे थे कि आपकी मिनिमम वेज को बढ़ाया जाए, पर क्या हुआ? यहां से गया बात, यहां से बाहर निकल गया, प्रस्ताव को ठुकरा दिया गया। यह है आपका वैल्यू। यह तो हुई आमदनी की बात। अब ऐसे विषय पे बात करते हैं जो महिलाओं को सबसे ज्यादा अफेक्ट करता है, और वो है हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम। आप जाइए अस्पतालों में, देखिए अस्पतालों की हालत। मेरी एक सहेली है, वो बहुत ही जल्दी अपने बच्चे को जन्म देने वाली है। वो मुझे बता रही थी कि मुझे डर लग रहा है, मुझे डर लग रहा है कि मेरा बच्चा सही तरीके से पैदा होगा कि नहीं, कहीं कुछ हो तो नहीं जाएगा, कहीं मैं अपने बच्चे को गवा तो नहीं दूंगी। क्योंकि वो न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ती है कि 300 से भी ज्यादा बच्चे मौत के घाट उतर गए। इसके पीछे उन 300 फैमिली को जानने का हक है कि क्या हुआ, क्या हुआ, और आगे ये नहीं होगा उसके लिए क्या किया जाएगा। मेरी प्राइम मिनिस्टर जी से हाथ जोड़ के विनती है कि अगर आपको आपकी विदेश यात्रा से समय मिल जाए और रिबन काटने से समय मिल जाए तो आइए और देखिए कि यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है। खाली हाथ में बच्चे को लेके फोटो लेने से कुछ नहीं होगा। जाके देखिए कि उन 300 माताओं के साथ क्या हुआ, और आगे ऐसा नहीं होगा इसके लिए आप क्या कर सकते हैं। हेल्थ केयर के बाद देखिए, आए दिन आप न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ते होंगे डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज, बच्चों के साथ रेप, द क्राइम इज राइजिंग। कई देशों में उसके लिए स्ट्रिक्ट पेनल्टीज लागू की गई है, कहीं डेथ पेनल्टी है तो कहीं पे डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज के लिए लीव। यहां पे क्या किया जा रहा है? हमारी नारियों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए सेफ्टी के इश्यू पर क्या काम किया जा रहा है, वो ये हमें जानने का हक है। ये सरकार का कर्तव्य है कि वो आपको सुख सुविधा और सेफ्टी प्रदान करे। डरिए नहीं, उसे मांगिए। हमारी पार्टी के भूतपूर्व नेता, और अभी आपने देखा होगा कि वो निरंतर प्रयास करते रहते हैं कि वो आपकी मुश्किलों को समझ सके, और वो ऐसे सॉल्यूशंस के साथ आते हैं जो आपको अफेक्ट हो सके। आप देखिए, अभी हमारी पार्टी में सबसे ज्यादा फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स है। वो अलग अलग बैकग्राउंड से है, अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंसेस से है। इसे बोलते हैं वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट। मैं आपके सामने खड़ी हूं, क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि ये सबसे अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट का? और ये किसने करके दिखाया है? नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी ने। इस साथ ही मैं अपना स्पीच फिनिश करूं, उससे पहले मैं खाली इतनी ही बात बताना चाहूंगी कि इस बार डरना नहीं, अपने दिल पे हाथ रख के सोचिएगा कि आपको कैसे लीडर चाहिए जो आपके दुख दर्द को समझ सके, ऐसी पॉलिसीज ला के रखे जो आपको मदद करेगा। हमारे बच्चों को मदद करेगा, इस कंट्री के भविष्य को उज्जवल बना देगा। आपकी पार्टी नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी और आपके लीडर प्रोफेसर विमन प्रसाद। नमस्कार।
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome onto the stage NFP's youngest provisional candidate, a resident of Lautoka, a student of law and politics at the University of the South Pacific in Suva. This young man is motivated by his parents, his teachers, and the elders of the National Federation Party. His favorite quote, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," from Franklin D. Roosevelt. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Apenisa Yambakitini Vatunibebuke.
Thank you. Mr. Krishna Dutt said that there is no age limit to politics. There's no entry level either. Mr. Party President, the leader of the party, organizing chairman, party elders and stalwarts, ladies and gentlemen, divine providence has called upon we today to sit here and to take action. For this is a time of urgency and importance unlike that which we have ever faced before. The choice that we will have to make in the coming election is not a choice between parties or personalities. It is a choice of either freedom or slavery, either hope or fear, either unity or disillusion, either a new beginning or the continuance of an old and worn-out system that has brought us nothing but animosity. This is a time for change. This is a time unlike any other. This is our time. The enemy that we are about to face in the coming election is well-resourced and armed. The signs are already showing that they are willing to fight viciously. However, I find solace that I can rely on the ability of this NFP team to be up to the task and rise to the challenge. For this is a team that leaves behind all boundaries. We are a team of young as well as not so young. We are a team of north as well as south. We are a team of east as well as west. We are a team of men as well as women, all of whom have a desire to take before you the responsibility that our forebears prescribed, the oath of uniting Fiji. I believe that this is our time. For this is the only time that we truly have. As I stand before you today, I am a mere 21-year-old, like some would say boy, man. But I am filled with optimism to see that you have taken an interest in the leadership of your nation. I am optimistic about the future because I can see a father going to drop off the child in school, and you can see the look of hope in his face. I am optimistic about our future because I see how carefully a farmer will tend to his crops and look at the accomplishment that he can achieve. I am optimistic because I have met young mothers who with great care take their children to clinics and hope that they will have their children grow up in a better place. Because, ladies and gentlemen, more than hate, we need hope. More than partisanship, we need partnership. More than rhetoric, we need responsibility. I am therefore proud that this is exactly what this party has to offer. Because we offer hope in our future, not hate in our past. We offer partnership on national and common issues, and not partisanship, merely because of a difference in opinion or suspicion. We are willing to accept responsibility for our mistakes and not rhetoric by constantly pointing out the error in others. What is needed, ladies and gentlemen, is a shift in the way of political thinking in our country. Let us seek to work together on the issues that truly matter. Security in the home, trust in our schools, safety in our streets, confidence in our health system, prestige both at home and abroad. What we need is a new beginning. Let us then look forward to a new beginning, a new hope and a new outlook for the future. That is why Mr. Leslie Tikutikoda, Ms. Priyanka Ram, Ms. Riddhi Damodar, Mr. Shanal Shivan, and Anshulata and myself have all decided to partner in that new beginning. The only question that remains, are you ready for change? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
as we say, vada vadat. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Mwani Koso dance group, all the way from Mwani Koso, just near McCoy, outside Suba. We'll have more items from them, and I think by that time they perform their second item, they will want some audience participation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to welcome up to the lectern constitutional lawyer, Mr. Richard Naidu.
Okay, thank you, Lenora. Man, that is a tough act to follow. I don't know why you did that to me. Anyway, Mr. President, party leader, a special greeting to my history teacher, Mr. Krishna Dutt. He taught me history. He taught me how to study history. He taught me how to learn from history. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a good start. Thank you for inviting me to speak today. There's a very long line of speakers. We have all been told to keep it short. 10 minutes for me. But you know, lawyers, they are worse than history teachers. Lawyers charge by the hour. That's the problem with lawyers. And constitutional lawyers are even worse, but never mind. But I want to say this. Last time I spoke to an NFP convention was in 2005. And that was a very small meeting because it was a very tough time for NFP. But the most important thing is that NFP was still there. Even though the times were tough, NFP was still there. NFP has never forgotten why it was founded. Remember what Lenora said, purpose. NFP has never forgotten that it has a duty to serve. 55 years. It has never forgotten. Good times, bad times. It is a duty to serve. And what a difference now. We can all see that this is a party that is fired up. It is ready to go. History tells us that some political parties come and go. Some political parties are formed around one or two people. And they last only while those one or two people have power. Then they disappear. They are vote collecting machines. They collect the votes and then they disappear until the next election. They hold no conventions, they hold no meetings. They're only seen at election time. But a good political party builds leadership in good times and in bad times. Not just in parliament, not just in the government. Leadership is not just about the government and the parliament. The people in the government, the people in the parliament, those are the famous people. They're the ones you see in the newspapers. They're the ones you see on TV. But we need leaders everywhere. We need leaders in the villages and the settlements. We need leaders in the churches. We need leaders in the other religious places. We need leaders in sports. We need leaders in community organizations. We need leaders in education. We need leaders in health. We need leaders in families. Because we all know that is where the real work gets done. That's where we need leadership. And today I want to talk about leadership. Because that is what politics should be about. It is not about giving out free money. It is not about opening bridges. It is not about presenting solar panels. Because that is what every government does. That is what every minister does, regardless of his political party or her political party. Because they are working with the people's money. That is what they are paid to do. And right now, they are very well paid to do that. I'm not going to talk about this party or that party. I'm not going to criticize anyone. I'm not going to praise anyone. I just want us all to begin thinking about the kind of leaders Fiji needs. Leadership is not about traveling around in big four-wheel drives with flashing lights. It is not about flying first class from every airport to every airport. I want to tell you a little story about the World Cup. The World Cup final in Moscow. We all saw it, we all watched it. France versus Croatia. So we all know about France. What do we know about Croatia? It's a small European country. Not so small, 4 million people. 4 times as big as Fiji. So the president of Croatia is a lady called Kolinda Grabar. She's a big soccer fan. So when Croatia reached the final of the World Cup, of course, she wanted to go. She's the president of Croatia. So what did she do? The first thing she did was she applied for leave. Because even though she is the boss, she went to the World Cup on her time, not on government time. Then she had to travel to Moscow. So how did she go to Moscow? Did she go in her private jet? No. She flew economy class with all the other fans from Croatia. Where did she sit during the match? Did she sit in the VIP box? No, she sat in the stands, just like us, just like all the other fans from Croatia. You know, that sounds to me like a leader who is humble. She knows that even while she's the president, she's an ordinary person. And she knows that one day when she is not the president, she will again be an ordinary person. A person like that will not always be the president, but she will always be a leader for that reason. Leadership is about bringing people together. A good leader does not tell others what to do. If you tell people what to do, those people will remember that you told them what to do. They will wait for the day you are not in power. And then on that day, they will undo what you told them to do. That is why a good leader must listen to everyone. A good leader must show respect to everyone. Work with everyone to reach a decision. A good leader must build trust, because not always will everybody agree. So sometimes a leader is left to make a hard choice. But if people trust the leader, even if they disagree with their leader, they will follow, even if they disagree. And that is why trust is important. That is why leaders must build trust amongst their followers. Good leaders know when they come into power that one day they will lose power. And good leaders plan for that day. They think about what is important to them. And then they talk to the people who will come after them. Sometimes those people are their political enemies. If it is a democracy, government will change hands. They have to engage their rivals. They have to engage with their opponents. We all know about Abraham Lincoln, another big figure in history. He was the US president who won the Civil War. He abolished slavery. But when he became president, he invited his political enemies to come into his cabinet. Why did he do that? Was he a generous guy? Yes. History tells us he was a very generous man. But he was also a clever man, one of the cleverest men ever to be president of the United States. Because he knew that one day he would be gone. But he wanted to keep his work in place. So he knew that if his enemies had to work with him, they would have to defend his work when he was gone. And so it was. And that was clever leadership. That was inclusive leadership. That was good leadership. Some leaders hang on to power because they believe that only they are capable. Only they can lead. They trust nobody else to be the leader. But if you think about that, those are the leaders who are failures. Because no leader can lead forever. If they do not pass on their plan and their visions to others, if they do not encourage others to do their work, then what use have they been? Their vision will just die with them. And for me, this is perhaps the most important thing about good leadership. Good leadership is about helping others to lead. Good leaders work quietly. They do not take credit. They do not take the limelight. Good leaders empower other people. They teach other people. They help and develop the skills of other people so that one day those people can lead. That is leadership. That is real power. That is statesmanship. If through our own leadership we can help others to lead, think about how much more we can do. I'll finish with a story about Nelson Mandela. We know Nelson Mandela. He was a political prisoner for 27 years. Then he became the president of South Africa. And this is one of the things he said. I think he said it after South Africa won the Rugby World Cup. I think this is what he said. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory, especially when nice things occur. A leader takes the front line when there is danger. Only then will people appreciate your leadership. One other thing about Mandela, he lived as he said. After his first term as president was up, he did not cling on to power. After one election, he left. Because he knew by that time that he was respected. He had earned respect. He knew that when he was out of office, he would have even more power because he had respect. And out of power, he spoke very rarely. He did not speak very often. But when he spoke, everybody listened to him because he had earned their respect. So, I said that good leaders know when to go. I'm looking at my watch now. I think my time is up. And like a good leader, I too must know when to go. So, thank you for listening to me. I just want to say one more thing. Every 4 years, we have the right to choose our national leaders. Let's think very carefully about the leaders we choose. Let's talk to our friends, let's talk to our families about who will be good leaders. And then let us use the power we have once every 4 years and vote for those leaders. So thank you again for listening to me.
Vinakavakalebu Richard. I think we've been sitting on our behinds for a few minutes, maybe too long. So can we just all stand up? Just stand up. Don't leave. Just stand up. And just give the person on your left a high five. Turn to your left, give them a high five. That's the one. Turn to the person on your right and say, "You look amazing." Now turn to the person behind you and tell them, "Change is coming." All right, everybody sit down now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the lectern now the president of the National Federation Party, Mr. Pio Tikonduandua.
Turang. Awakan turmo ndar memang bos ko. Party leader, Professor Biman Prasad and Mrs. Prasad, I'll say again our keynote speakers, Mr. Krishna Dutt and Richard Naidu, the members of the Management Board of the National Federation Party, our National Federation Party members of Parliament who are here today, our youth wing, and our members, our party stalwarts, provisional candidates, and all of you, our party supporters here today. Nisambula Vinak. Namaskaram. I hope I say this right. Ba to bahai. I think I said it right. This afternoon, I can tell you that there is a 2,000 plus strong wind for change right here in Ba. At the very school grounds that bestows our party founding father, A.D. Patel College, the honor he deserves. And I'm so very proud to stand before you and address you all as the NFP president. I feel bolder still because of the team that I have beside me. Our NFP leader, our management board, our youth, our provisional candidates, our party stalwarts and elders, and of course, all our party supporters here and abroad. We have been busy. Our teams are tirelessly out and talking to people all over the country. There is still much to be done, but I can guarantee the people of Fiji that our team of lionhearts do not bow to media intimidation or threats of administrative legal sanctions or the special branch. The NFP always followed the law. Team NFP is game ready any which way the government chooses to throw the dice. The National Federation Party has come a long way from its first formative days, from the days of the mango tree, with unshakable roots in Regreki, which the late Apati Tataya suggested to our founder leader and his able lieutenants to form a political party. Therefore, this party was blessed. I say blessed because overlooking that tree is the legendary Nakawanda mountain range. Therefore, we are legendary. Since 1963, we have survived the political pitfalls for the last 55 years, and we will be around, and I assure you, for the next 55 years. Political parties formed after the NFP have come and gone, despite being led by personalities. But the NFP remains, as our leader has emphasized, a principled, impregnable fortress. And I can tell you that more parties will dissipate after the forthcoming general elections, but we will live on. Our party has been led by leaders who are statesmen in their own right. Their achievements are permanent milestones. Leaders like Mr. A.D. Patel, Mr. S.M. Koya, Harish Sharma, Justice Jairam Reddy, and all were giants of their time in their ability, understanding, and perception of the problems facing Fiji. They always put our national interests above everything else. For them, political capital or simply winning was secondary to principles of truth, righteousness, equality, dignity, and justice. And 55 years later, these principles remain as strong as the unshakable roots of the mango tree. They will not be shirked for political expediency. Many good policies of this government have been ideas of the NFP. the social policies like free bus fares, tuition-free education, for example, were ideas in our 1982 and 2001 general elections manifesto. So they are not original ideas of this government. However, unfortunately, this government does not even copy our ideas well in its implementation so that it fully benefits the people. The latest example is the $85 a ton guaranteed price for sugar for a ton of sugar cane. This is less than the minimum guaranteed price of $100 a ton that NFP is offering to cane growers today. This policy means that growers will not receive less than $100. It means that if our sugar is sold on the world market at lucrative prices, growers will receive more than $100 a ton. This is not just our promise, it is our pledge. As the leader has told many times, to bring back smiles to the faces of our farmers and our growers, their families, to the cane cutters, to the farm workers, and indeed, some 200,000 people who directly or indirectly depend on the industry for their livelihood. In the same way, today I'm equally proud to announce one NFP policy decision for our veterans, retired ex-servicemen and returning soldiers, to increase their monthly pension with a 50% increase from the current rate of $200 a month to $300 a month. Or from $50 a week to $70 a week, to keep pace with the burden of crippling cost of living. On the same note, we intend to review upwards the social pension schemes for our elderly citizens who are not on FNPF pensions and our people living with disabilities. Many of you would have noted in Parliament, our leader and our two other MPs opposed the parliamentary pension bill because it did not provide for pension for those deposed from power by the 4 military coups if they did not get elected into Parliament after that. Yet those who grabbed power through the barrel of the gun, qualify for pension despite being in the interim government. We need these as well. We need to change this as well. In all fairness, members of Parliament overthrown by coups should receive pension because it is through no fault of theirs that they were removed from power, and this also includes their widows. Most importantly, the injustice heaped upon Fiji National Provident Fund. Most importantly, the injustices heaped upon the Fiji National Provident Fund pensioners needs to be corrected as well. The reduction of pension from 15% to under 9% makes pension meaningless. Government's argument that no one would receive less than $100 per month is meaningless. Those who were receiving 25% have also lost out, with government claiming they received more than their share by dipping into other members' funds. Now, this is misleading. There was a buffer fund worth $700 million that these members, like others, contributed to. They were benefiting from this fund and no double dipping. In government, we will restore your pension because it is your contract that was breached. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be a shame for us all when we compare those on the minimum wage of $2.68 who are struggling to put 3 square meals on the table, while those of our various communities who are the most vulnerable and for whom greater care and love are necessary are even more marginalized. While $2.68 an hour is the minimum wage, the upper class enjoy tax benefits and low corporate taxes. As the leader will tell you, the Prime Minister receives an average daily allowance of $3,000 a day, when on overseas travel, and now this is criminal. $5 an hour is what we will implement as a living wage. We will do so responsibly without hurting our business, particularly small and medium businesses. Our manifesto will have details on how we will do it, but we will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for a two-man rule in Fiji is soon going to be over. The time for two-man rule by fear is going to be over. The time for two men to sing praises of each other and forcing 30 other Fiji First members of parliament to do the same thing is going to be over. Basically, the Prime Minister and his right-hand man, as the PM likes to call the Attorney General and the Minister for Economy, is truly going to be over. And we are here to make sure it is over. Fiji, let me assure you, under a National Federation Party leadership, under the inspirations that you bring us here today, we'll no longer have a two-man government. Fiji will so have an all and exclusive, genuinely multiracial government of Team NFP that you see assembled here in a large part. Because this is a team that has the moral and political credibility to rescue Fiji from two men and their circuses of tricks and cosmetic solutions that are dissipating before us to the great detriment and the harm of our people. They have caused irreparable damages to accountability, transparency, good governance, and parliamentary democracy. I know that the current leader remarked that the parliamentary democracy is useless and coups are better. And I wonder, no wonder for half a year he is traveling or spending time on the first-class aircraft seated in office and in parliament, leaving his right-hand man to conjure contracts on our nation. I know because I was there. I left them and a $200,000 salary after only 9 months in office because I thought that was the resumption of parliamentary democracy. The two men would practice genuine democracy by partnership and the rule of in the national interest. But the two men heightened the resolve to suppress all. My way or the highway of the rule prevails. And I could not tolerate it. I decided to sacrifice whatever my ministerial interests are and to take heed of the interests of our people. I decided to join the party of principles that I would have joined before the 2014 elections had I not been a permanent secretary. But here I am as president of a party with a never say die attitude, a party that has never been and will never be faint-hearted. It will not compromise its principle, come hell or high water. Lebe torngan dono ngona lakalak ngo men dono nong kuitabi na fosabakabiti. Tomanda ni tiko na turanga ken moram ni ada maina non da bibanua. Ena single ni singni ko. Wa bene bena katakta le wale bono no muni ada mai. O bina kata meu tokaru taka. E bidana ka o sandu tukuna waboki. Ena vingona o visu kina kina vingona o samai torikina nei tutu ni patingona NFP. O bina kata mo wende takatale ni kua. Viviti ni kua. Na sautu ni nonda vanua kena tiko vinaka e rawa walenga e na nonrambula ngalala ve malwe vinaka na ve tamata ke deviti. Na ve liutaki e sengeni wakayanga taka na vi wakarerei me kene ia rangi. Sa o tina ngona ni vi wakarerei. Ni kua, ke wakanda mi nakatakia. Mera sautu na luvenda, e nandele ni nonra ngona. Ia menda kua ni woro ni kua. Sarau tia na woro. Na wuna, ke wakanda i tambata matango, e warai ni na dhaka indona ka, me mbalatia na mbulanga lala ke viti ni kua ia era na wakaluvenda luvenda na nraki ni vili tekingo. E na walaloma na kawa India, e na wakaloloma dhake na ngoni itokei. Ia sa vinakati menda tu wakatangani. Balera na orei ni lelevu na tu mbole mai wataki kenda. Ke wakanda na numi kenda wakataki kenda, injing te kena matin tungo. Ke o nanumi ana luvemu, na nomu kau mai muri, ke na vikau tamata e ratu wakarurungi, e na nondala lama na bunongo, ia injing te kena patungo. Au matawi wande i taki ni kua na vi chuku wakaturanga i viti. E na nungu waso wawo ki utuku ne chuko ni kua. Sa warenenga indona kai tampu. Nothing is sacred anymore in our society. Ia sa wakatau wikenda. Anonda na ngoleani. Ke na nonda dingi. Menda dingia indona vitawo. Ni sangona ni visau. Da maroro e nononda i tikutiko, da maroro ira na wekanda. Ni o ira e waka nui wikenda, ninda na maroro I viti, kena wika tamata, bringing democracy and stability to this country. Ona tinia na singalibu ni kono guwaso, wabiri binaka bagalibu non te mai. O kitau nanda mitungo, na nitu dhaka na kondro. Na kaukaua kena lawai tu wikumni. Ni wakatulewa menda visau. Choose to change and be bold about change. And change is coming, and God bless NFP and God bless Fiji.
Let's have another big round of applause for Party President, Mr. Pio Tiko Nduandua. Vinakapakalebusa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, young people, boys and girls, let's welcome on stage party leader, the Honorable Professor Biman Prasad, leader of the National Federation Party.
Thank you. The party president, Mr. Pio Tikunundua, my fellow colleagues in Parliament, Honorable Prem Singh, Honorable Pramod Chand, our two very important guests and speakers, Mr. Krishna Dutt and Mr. Richard Naidu, members of the management board, the chairman of the selection committee, Mr. The chairman of the selection committee, Mr. Jaginder Singh, all provisional candidates, supporters, stalwarts of the party, ladies and gentlemen, and friends. Thank you for your fantastic turnout here today at our annual general meeting. I'm not going to estimate the number of people who are here, but I'm very, very pleased with this huge turnout. This is obviously better than the AGM, if they have any, for the Fiji Fest party. We all know that there are only 2 people in that party. This year, ladies and gentlemen, NFP is 55 years old. For some people, that is retirement age, but not for NFP. Look at this party today. Look at its branches and supporters. There is a reason we are all still around. There is a reason that some of us come from families that are diehard NFP. That is because we have always been here. We have always been in the community. We have never abandoned our principles. We have always supported law and democracy. We have never joined with military coups. We have never been a stronger party than now. We have support in the villages and settlements, in the cane fields, in businesses, and in the farming communities. We have the support of the people who work in government and the support of working people. The Fiji Fest party is desperately attacking us. We do not care. Because once every 4 years in this country, it is not about the Fiji Fest party. It is about us, the people. And it is about your vote. Elections are coming. And as we say in the NFP, change is coming. We are all here at this meeting because we want that change. And for those who vote for us, change is what we promise. We need change from this government's dictatorial, draconian, and sometimes thuggish way of doing things. Friends, some people call elections as the full moon season, where politicians and the supporters stoop to low-level dirty tricks because they are desperate to get votes. This week, you might have noticed or read that the Fiji Sun has joined the Fiji Fest party, playing the politics of race and religion. Pradeep Chandra, our Bar provisional candidate, was accused of anti-Muslim remarks. These accusations are false. Very soon, the Fiji Sun will be hearing from our lawyers, I can promise you that. The Fiji Sun survives because it gets all the government advertising. Our taxes are the only reason it is still around. The Fiji Broadcasting Commission gets 11 million from our taxes every year. Another government mouthpiece. Never before has a government abused so much money to produce political propaganda against the opposition. This is just one more reason, ladies and gentlemen, why this government must go. Friends, for 12 years, Frank Bainimarama and Ayaz Syed Qayyum have ruled over us. They do this by saying to us, be quiet, do what we tell you, take what we give you, do not think for yourselves, smile when you give you your check. This is what we want to change. For the last 12 years, Bainimarama and Qayyum have tried to herd Fiji's people like cattle. For 10 years, no public meetings without a permit, no city councils, no town councils, just because they say so. No sugarcane growers council because farmers must not criticize the government. If the Fiji Times publishes critical news, they lose the government advertising and end up in court. There are no proper wages negotiations with the union leaders because the Minister for Economy says he is smarter than all of them. This is what we want to change. In the last 12 years, the Fiji government has fought with Australia and New Zealand. It has fought with the Pacific Islands Forum, the Commonwealth, the ILO. It has even fought with its own road engineers. Our traditional leaders have been told to drink grog under the mango tree. Gay people have been told to go to Iceland. This is what we want to change. The economy minister boasts about economic growth. But the government does not know, or the government does not grow the economy. We do. It is the people's hard work, the people's investments, the people's effort which grow the economy. The government's job is to help us all share the economic growth. So why is our minimum wage $2.68 per hour? Why do so many people complain about the cost of living? Why do 1/3 of our people still live in poverty? That is what we want to change. The government is throwing money everywhere to get votes. In the rural areas, in the cane fields, in the small enterprise grants, in home care. This makes people happy for a little while. But after the money is spent, nothing has changed. People are still poor, their homes are not repaired, their cane farms cannot make money. This is what we want to change. Do not forget the money that the government is throwing at themselves. The PM, ministers, MPs get huge allowances. The PM's overseas travel allowance is averaging about $3,000 a night. If we earn $2.68 per hour, do you know how long it would take to earn the same money? More than 6 months. More than 6 months. And that is what the PM collects averagely when he travels overseas for a day. What is happening? Because 2 years ago, the government increased all the travel allowances. Why are we receiving these exorbitant allowances? They brought a new law to Parliament. Only the NFP said no. Our parliamentarians opposed it. When the law was passed, we said we would not take the new allowances. The Speaker got a or the parliament got a legal opinion from the government. And we were told that we had to take the money. So according to this government, parliamentarians are not allowed to save government from spending money. And why is this? It is all politics. The Fiji First government wants to force us to keep the money. Why? So Fiji First parliamentarians do not look bad when they take the same money in the form of allowances. Can you imagine? Now we are not allowed even to give money back to the government. When we said, no, we don't want the increase in allowance. That is one of the things we will change. We will cut all ministers' salaries and allowances by 25% immediately when we come into government. Then we will set up a proper committee to tell us what is fair and reasonable. This may sound like a small thing, but it is not a small thing. If we want to be leaders of this country, leadership starts with us. How can we pay ourselves this sort of money when thousands of people in Fiji cannot afford even good food to eat? In the last budget, as well as previous budgets, the cost of PM's travel has been 1.5 million. The same is for 2018-19. How can we spend that much? The government is going to spend about 8 million on the Prime Minister's new office. Yet people's houses are still not fixed since Cyclone Winston. A Winston victim came to see me from Taveuni this week, who had not received certain items from a company that calls itself the most trusted name in hardware for 2 years and 5 months since Winston. And this company, like others, has already got the cash, spent it or profited from it thanks to the taxpayers. Next year, we will pay $10 million to host a big international conference at the new Momi Bay Marriott Resort. This is while our schools and hospitals do not even have basic equipment. This is the leadership we have to change. Real leaders put the people first. They put themselves at the back. If you are a real leader, you do not travel everywhere by motorcade. You do not use police cars to push past the jam traffic. We will ban those motorcades too. Government ministers are not gods. Let them understand the problems ordinary people face every day. We will change the minimum wage. We will change the sugar industry. We will change our health and education services. We want to save and move money away from roads and spend, ladies and gentlemen, about $200 million a year on good housing. And most of all, we will change Fiji's two-man government. And here is our key point of difference with the current government. We will give leadership back to our people. Then it will not be a two-man government, it will be our government. Think about it. How much more we can do if we are able to work together. We want the people to control their towns and cities, so there will be local government elections. We want the leaders in the villages and settlements to help provincial councils deliver projects that people need. We want the school committees who own the schools to be allowed to independently manage and improve their own schools. We want local hospital boards who understand their own community and can give the people the health services they need We do not want Mr. Ayaz Syed Qayyum telling us about public-private partnership from his office in Suba. We want to give money to community organizations. When people are poor or sick or need help, these organizations lead the way. They do not make people go to government offices with the birth certificates. We want business people to be government's partners to help develop small enterprises. We do not want government ministers running around the country handing out checks to people they don't even know. We want housing boards to work with the government to find land and help people build new homes. We want community organizations to lead the way in disaster relief, good health, and new services. We want employers and unions to work together on wages councils and to work to find ways to help the lowest paid people. Think about all the things we can do, ladies and gentlemen, if we work together. When I travel around the country, I hear so many good ideas on how we can improve our lives in this country. But there is one problem with these ideas. They are not Frank Bainimarama's ideas. They are not Ayaz Syed Qayyum's ideas. And only they are allowed to have good ideas. We have been listening to teachers and students about education. And as I said before, we will change many things when we come into government. But as promised today, reported in the Fiji Times, that we would announce a new policy on university education. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to announce this policy in 5 points. First, the NFP government will provide free tuition for all degree students in all 3 universities in the first year of their studies. Number 2, NFP will rename the existing National Toppers Scholarship as the Academic Excellence Scholarship. And we will restructure the 12 priority areas so that students in all disciplines can get the scholarship. Number 3, we will bring in a new merit scholarship for students whose family income is less than $30,000 and who receive an aggregate mark of not less than 250 out of 400. Number 4, we will keep TELS for all existing tertiary students, technical colleges of Fiji, private sector employees, public sector employees, pilot training for all pilot training schools and not being selective. Accommodation loans scheme as well. Number 5, we will make all TELS loans interest-free, including for those who are already paying their loans and for existing TELS students, and also review the payment structure for these loans. And ladies and gentlemen, the usual question will be asked, where will we get the money? We will pay for this from savings on current government spending. And I can tell you that the first thing we will cut is government propaganda spending on Fiji Sun, FBC, and COVIS. Ladies and gentlemen, we will encourage criticism in government. If our government does something badly, we want to hear we have done badly. We want to know how we can do better. People should not be afraid of their government. The people own the government. Our taxes pay for the government. Frank Baini Marama and Ayaz Syed Qayyum do not own the government. Some of us old enough are forgetting that once upon a time, Fiji was a democratic country. Imagine our young people have never known what this was like. We consulted people at economic summits. Everybody was allowed to talk about government policies and what those policies should be. We were allowed to criticize the government without getting sacked from our jobs or put under pressure. In fact, many governments did not like many of us who were in the university for years, criticizing them. We worked together in town and city councils. We worked together in the sugar industry. We worked together with the unions and the leaders, the employers and the government. This is what the NFP wants, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want. Because this is how we will make Fiji better. This election is going to be about what kind of Fiji, ladies and gentlemen, we want. It is not about the Fiji that Mr. Baini Marama and Mr. Syed Qayyum want. It is about freedom. It is about democracy and working together. It is not about Mr. Baini Marama or Mr. Syed Qayyum. It is about raising wages and incomes of our standard of living. It is not about Mr. Baini Marama and Mr. Qayyum. It is about improving our health services and stopping people dying needlessly in our hospitals. It is not about Mr. Baini Marama and Mr. Qayyum. It is about rescuing our sugar industry, supporting our farmers, helping the tourism industry to thrive. It is about making the government rules simpler and better for business people and employers. It is about restoring dignity and respect for our civil servants and teachers so that they can use their skills and do what they are paid to do and what they want to do to help the people. It is about investing in houses and services for our poorest people. This election, ladies and gentlemen, is about bringing stability and quality to our education system. This election is about ending the culture of fear, freebies, and failure. It is not about Mr. Baini Marama and Mr. Qayyum. My friends, this is what I promise you. NFP will go into this election with a team that is ready to lead in government. That means it will listen to you. It will give power to you. It will work for you. All I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, today is to appeal to you, to talk to your friends, families, and fellow workers. Get them out to vote NFP. Tell them change is coming. And then you can help us make this happen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take few minutes also to say a few words in Hindi. भाइयों और बहनों, सबसे पहले मैं आप सभी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं और धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि आप सभी ने अपने समय को निकालकर और बहुत दूर दूर से, यूँ कहिए फिजी की सभी कोने से पार्टी के कन्वेंशन में आप सभी ने आज यहाँ पर भाग लिया है। पार्टी के तरफ से मैं आप सभी को बारंबार धन्यवाद देता हूँ। जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये चुनाव श्री बैनी मरामा और सैयद क़यूम के विषय में नहीं है, जो आने वाली चुनाव है। ये चुनाव का परिणाम इस देश को कहां पर ले जाती है, वो चुनाव है। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे लोग गरीबी में फंसे रहें, हमारे लोगों की तनख्वाह इसी तरह रहे जैसा अभी है, अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे गन्ने की खेती जो पिछले 12 वर्षों में गिरता गया इसी तरह गिरता रहे, अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे अस्पतालों की हालत जो इतनी बुरी है और बुरा हो जाए, अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हम दो लोगों की बात इस देश में सुनकर और भय से अपना जीवन को व्यतीत करें, और अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारी जो बातें हैं, हमारी जो अधिकार है, हमारी जो कंप्लेंट है, शिकायत है, उसको हम इसी तरह दबा कर रखते रहें, तब यह चुनाव बैनी मरामा और क़यूम के विषय में होगा। अगर आप इसको बदलना चाहते हो, इन परिस्थितियों को बदलना चाहते हो, तो इस बार आप लोगों को नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी का साथ देना है। हमने जो नीतियों को बनाया है और उसकी घोषणा हमने जो किया है, वो हम किसी हवा में या किसी पेड़ से तोड़कर लेकर नहीं आए हैं। जैसे श्री कृष्णा दत्त जी ने कहा कि इन नीतियों को हम बहुत ही बारीकी से आंकड़े को देखकर, देश की परिस्थिति जो है उसको समझकर तब हम बनाए हैं। अगर हम $5 घंटे तनख्वाह का मांग कर रहे हैं तो किसी पेड़ से हम हवा से निकाल कर उसको नहीं लाए, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि हमारे लोगों की जो तनख्वाह है, जो महंगाई का दर है, वो आसमान छूता है। और जब हम कहते हैं कि हम 15 विशेष जो हमारी आइटम्स है खाने पीने की इत्यादि, उस पर वेट ज़ीरो करेंगे, उसको हम बारीकी से निरीक्षण किए हैं कि हमारे लोगों में जो गरीबी का दर है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है, महंगाई बढ़ता जा रहा है और आमदनी उसी पर है। अगर हम कहते हैं कि गन्ना के किसानों की प्रति टन $100 मिलना चाहिए, तो उसका निरीक्षण करके हम ये कह रहे हैं। जब हमने कहा कि $100 होना चाहिए, तो तुरंत सरकार ने सब्सिडी दिया और अब हमारी बातों को सुनकर $85 पर पहुंचे हैं। अरे भाई, 85 जब हो कर सकते हो आप, तो 100 भी हो सकता है। और अंत में भाइयों और बहनों, दोस्तों, मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि ये चुनाव के समय और पिछले 4 वर्षों से अगर आप पार्लियामेंट लाइव डिबेट नहीं देखते हो, इफ यू डोंट वॉच लाइव डिबेट ऑन टेलीविजन of what we say in the parliament, you will not hear many of those things in the news except in some media organizations. तो हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि हमारे बातों को दबाया जा रहा है। कई ऐसे जो मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, जैसे फिजी सन, FBC इसमें केवल हमारी जो निचाई है वो दिखाते हैं, हमारी बातों को वहां पर पहुंचने नहीं देते हैं। तो मैं आप लोगों से ये मांग कर रहा हूं कि अगर हम बदलाव चाहते हैं, और मैं आपको बताऊं कि हम फिजी भर में जो सलाह लोगों से कर रहे हैं, उससे एक ही संकेत मिलता है, एक ही संकेत, कि लोग बदलाव चाहते हैं। लोग नेशनल फेडरेशन पार्टी को सरकार में भेजने के लिए बिल्कुल तैयार है। जैसे बताया गया है, लेनोरा ने जैसे बताया कि बहुत सारे लोग आज इस कन्वेंशन में हमारे यहाँ आना चाहते हैं। कई लोगों ने मुझे बताया कि नहीं यार, हम आपके साथ हैं, लेकिन हम कन्वेंशन में नहीं आएंगे क्योंकि लोगों को डराया जा रहा है, लोगों को धमकाया जा रहा है, और लोगों के बीच ये जो दरार है, धर्म जाति, ये लोग फैला रहे हैं। जैसे मैंने कहा, हमारे जो उम्मीदवार है प्रदीप चंद्रा, वो आदमी ऐसा बात कभी कह ही नहीं सकता जो फिजिशियन बोल रहा है। तो ये सब जो ट्रिक्स है, ये हमारे समझ आएगा, और मैं जानता हूं कि आप लोग बात समझते हो। अगर ये सरकार ये सोचती है कि हमारे लोग समझ नहीं रहे हैं, हमारे लोगों को भूल भुलैया में ला सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है भाइयों। मैं आप लोगों पर विश्वास करता हूं, इस देश की जनता पर मेरा विश्वास है, मैं उनका आदर और सम्मान करता हूं। इसीलिए मैं समझता हूं कि इस बार हमारे लोग इस सरकार की जो नाटक है, इसको समझ चुके हैं, और आने वाली चुनाव में सरकार को बदलने के लिए बिल्कुल तैयार हैं। Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat what I said when I concluded. Talk to your friends, families, and fellow workers. Get them out to vote for NFP. We don't have a lot of money. Big businesses are giving a lot of money to a party that you all know. We don't have that kind of money. But we have you. We have your support. We have your commitment. And we have your love for this party. Go and tell as many people as you can. Tell them that change is coming. Help us make this happen. And all I want to say, change is coming. Change is inevitable. बदलाव निश्चित है. Enayado na veisao. This is NFP's time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Change is coming indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Honorable Professor Biman Prasad. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that I stand between you and a lovely lunch today. But just before I let you go to lunch, we have one final speaker who will also introduce to you some of our provisional candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, NFP's General Secretary, Mr. Jagannath Sami.
Thank you, Lenora. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take a little bit more time from you. I know you may be hungry. There's a lot of food there, so don't worry. I will not take too much of your time, but this is very important. You've heard a lot of speakers, but I think more important, you want to know the team that will form the next government. I and we stand here on this sacred ground, which is a memorial of the first leader of National Federation Party, the late Honorable A.D. Patel, the leader as Minister for Social Services, who gave the poor housing authority to make affordable houses. Unfortunately, you do not have the current housing authority giving you affordable houses. You also had, together with late Honorable A.D. Patel, late Mr. S.M. Koya, who gave you Denning Award, and Cane Growers Council, a democratic institution for the cane growers, which has been taken away today by the Fiji First government. You also had the leader of NFP, Justice Jairam Reddy, who gave us the 1997 Constitution, the Constitution that provided for multi-party government, which would have brought all the political parties together in government, and we would have had a truly multiracial government for Fiji and a united country. But we lost that too due to the Fiji First. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to first announce to you the 10 provisional candidates who have not been announced previously. And these are, and I'll invite the candidates to come in front of this stage, and they will line up here so that you all can see them. And of course, there will be your grassroots members of parliament to come. And that is why we're getting them to stand on the ground. The first is Mr. Ajay Kumar from Lautoka. The second one is Mr. Alipate Tunraki. He is a new announcement. The third is Aman Nath, another new announcement from Nandi. Miss Anshu Lata from Lambasa. And our youth, Apanisa Vatunivuki from Lautoka. Mr. Baladas, another new announcement, the General Secretary for Fiji Cane Growers Association. Mr. Devendra Naidu, the President of Bar Branch and for Bar District. Mr. Dani Ram for Suva Central. Ms. Diana Tangivakatini, a new announcement from Suva. Mr. Firoz Ghulam Mohammed from Nasinu. Mr. Gabrioli Navarossi, a new announcement from Ba. Mr. Herbert Pickering from Savu Savu. Mr. Josefa Galvidi for Suva. Mr. Kawai Vinindongo from Bua. Mr. Kini Viliame Salabongi for Ra. Miss Lenora Gerengere Tambua. Mr. Leslie Tiko Tikoda for Taviuni. Mr. Manav Ram for Nosori. Mr. Manasseh Bravilala, a new announcement for Suva. Mr. Michael Brown for Lotoka. Mr. Narendra Reddy, a new announcement for Tavua. Honorable Pramod Chand for Lambasa. Honorable Prem Singh, a new announcement for Nandi. Ms. Priyanka Ram for Suva. Mr. Pushp Das, Reki Reki. Mr. Rajkumar Ratan for Singatoka. Mr. Rajan Sami for Navua. Mr. Ravineshwar Das, a new announcement for Singatoka. Dr. Richard Wa, Suva Central. Miss Riddhi Damodar, Suva. Samuela Nandengu Dengu, Tailebu Nosori. Sandhya Bajpai, Suva. Mr. Satya Shandil for Sabu Sabu. Miss Sani Nambo, Suva. Mr. Shalendra Raj, a new announcement for Lotoka, Bunda. Another youth, Mr. Shanal Shivan for Nosori. Mr. Sila Balawa for Suva. Mr. Tui Kambu for Nandi. Ms. Benyana Salabongi for Singatoka. Ms. Benyana Salabongi for Singatoka. Mr. Vaisele Kanavo for Madhuata. Mr. William Lee for Suva. Mr. Faisal Siddiq Koya, a new announcement for Lotoka. And last but not the least, our national president, Mr. Pio Tiko Duandua, a national candidate. If you can come closer, please, for the photographs. But I'll not, there is a surprise person that will join you there is, of course, you can't leave the leader of the party. He's still not the candidate. We're still considering him. So, Honorable Viman Prasad to join the team. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the team. Can you give them a good hand? And wait for the party leader to join them. I'm sorry, there is one more candidate, Mr. Pradeep Chandra from Bao. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Now, if the photographers have taken the photos, you may return to your seat for the last item on the agenda. And I'll hand over to Lenora.
Thank you very much, NFP provisional candidates. I think you've gotten more than enough of your vitamin D for today. And now, just finally, before we break for lunch, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to ask Vice President Mr. Faisal Koya to come and move the vote of thanks.
Our party leader, Professor Biman Prasad, and his lovely wife, Mrs. Prasad, the President of National Federation Party, the national executives, branch members, volunteers, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the party to you all. And before I go into detail of vote of thanks, I thank the Almighty Lord for giving us this beautiful day, and you beautiful people, the courageous people who have taken your time out today. I start by thanking our three members of Parliament under the leadership of Professor Prasad, who have stood up firm and represented the party and you people with all the limited resources and the restraints. At this opportune time, I ask you all to congratulate and thank these three gentlemen. And I go straight to thank the volunteers and the hardworking people who have brought this convention to a success. And they are the people that we care for, the cooks at the back, the cleaners, the hardworking people. Thank you so much, and may the Lord bless you. I thank one of the fathers of National Federation Party, Chacha Jaginder Singh. May the Lord give him longer life, and with his blessing, we are still here today, stronger than ever in 2018. I thank Mr. Krishna Dutt and my colleague in the bar, Mr. Richard Naidu, for their wonderful delivery. And in passing, let me just conclude to all you good people. We are a party of 55 years that nobody can match in this country. We are a party that saw the independence of this beloved nation. We are a party that went through the coups and all the elections that this country has faced. No other party has seen these elections than National Federation Party. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't fear the opposition, but we fear for the nation's welfare. We continue to reach for the poor and fight for injustice that is created by some in this nation. We believe in dialogue and its full sense, and respect opinion which benefits the nation. We are the alternative, the way this country is governed today. We believe in media freedom and respect constructive criticism. But we don't believe in suppression and intimidation, but value opinions which differ. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the change the people want. Ladies and gentlemen, we are National Federation Party of 2018, and here's a message to the Supervisor of Elections. Bring on the elections. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koya. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to give ourselves a big round of applause. Vinaka Bakalevu. I know that we are all looking forward to lunch. Can we give them a time? 3:30? Ladies and gentlemen, before I make any more announcements, this particular announcement is especially for the provisional candidates. At 3:30, we would like to meet you up at the office where we had the AGM earlier today. It'll be a 1-hour meeting, and this is compulsory. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say Vinaka Sakapakalebu. Thank you so much for your attendance today. Thank you for braving the weather. Thank you for waking up early. Thank you for bringing your family and friends. Thank you for going live. Thank you for your support. We look forward to your tick come the 2018 general elections, and we look forward to you helping us bring that change that we desperately need. God bless your journey back home, and see you again soon. Vinaka, lunch is provided on both tents, both blue and white tents. The toilets, ladies and gentlemen, are in the building to my left and also in the building behind the grandstand. Please remember that we would really appreciate that you put your rubbish in the rubbish bin. And again, Vinaka Sakapakalevu, Nikalonga Tatiko, wakalonga teken dat tigona kalo. Winna kapagalip sara ni Samoat Saka. And while you are enjoying your lunch, I'd like to bring back onto the ground here at A.D. Patel College the Mwanikoso dance group.
अरे तुम का बताई भैया हमरा हाल का है बता दे निकले थे हम हलवा खाने मुंह ही जल गया है का तुम का बताई अब का समझाई बड़ी दुर्घटना है मुश्किल बचना है चला ऐसा झक्कर हो उठी ऐसी आंधी हो बड़ी हमका करनी बड़ी कूदा फांदी हो बड़ी लंबी चौड़ी हुई भागा दौड़ी दिन रात जो हमने जाग जाग की ऐसी भागम भाग कि हम कभी आ गए कभी हुआ गए कभी आ गए कभी हुआ गए कभी इधर भागे कभी उधर भागे फिर तुमने दिया ये पान तो आई हमारी जान में जान तो आई हमारी जान में जान तो आई हमारी जान में जान खाई के पान बनारस वाला खाई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला वो खाई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला फिर तो ऐसा करे धमाल सीधी कर दे सबकी चाल हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला खाई के पान बनारस वाला खुल जाए बंद अकल का ताला अरे राम दुहाई कैसे चक्कर में पड़ गया हाय 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 कहाँ जान फसाई मैं तो सूली पे चढ़ गया हाय हाय कैसा सीधा सादा मैं कैसा बोला बाला अरे कैसा सीधा सादा मैं कैसा बोला भाला जाने कौन घड़ी में पड़ गया पढ़े लिखो से पाला मीठी छुरी से हुआ हला छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला
यहाँ भी होगा वहाँ भी होगा let's go.